A funny thing happened to me on the way home from work the other day, and it reminded me of the Adjustment Bureau. So I got home, watched it, and I figured, let's do a review on this movie. Now, let me tell you what happened, so then you'll understand why it reminded me of this movie. In Greek mythology, the idea of fate is very strong. You have the Moirai sisters, Clothos, Lachesis, and Atropos. Clothos weaves the thread of fate, Lachesis distributes the thread of fate, and Atropos makes sure that the thread of fate is followed. So if you're meant to be somewhere or see someone or meet someone, and maybe something was going to get in the way of that, Atropos would make sure the obstacle is gone. Or if you weren't supposed to see someone, Atropos would put an obstacle in its place. So in my case, very quickly, when I was coming home from work, I would normally turn right. But there was an unusual amount of traffic for the turn right lane, unusual for that time of the day. And so I opted to go straight. The amount of traffic would have meant I would have had 2 goes to get through the lights. So I would have been delayed for a whole cycle of lights. So I went straight instead, and I had a breezy run. There's no cars, there's no traffic. I'm coming up to this roundabout, and again, there's no cars on the roundabout. There's no cars really waiting. It's free flow. And the roundabout's got a light that says stop here and red light. Boom, stop. Oh, why? There's no one. There's no one. And me being on the roundabout will hold up no one. When it goes green, I have to absolutely floor it to get through the roundabout before the oncoming traffic. Otherwise, I'll be delayed again. Then my next set of lights, 50% of the time it's red, 50% is green. Turn right, side street, yeah, whatever. But this morning, and I've never seen this at this lights, a pedestrian walking in a walking frame. Oh my God. So now I'm getting delayed again. And I immediately thought of the Adjustment Bureau movie. And when I got home, I'm pulling in the driveway just as my neighbour's walking out. In that little 30-second window, I got out, we had a little chat briefly, and he said something and it just stuck in my brain. And I was like, you got to be kidding. What he said it had such a coincidental bearing on my life that it was, to me, it just said Adjustment Bureau. Like for some reason, I had to hear him say that. Okay, so let's talk about the Adjustment Bureau. In the Adjustment Bureau, you have Matt Damon is a politician and he's running for Senate or he wants to go higher up or something. Then he has his girlfriend in the movie. So we'll go with, I think in the movie her name is Elise. So you've got Matt and Elise. I can't remember his name. I can remember her character name, but that's fine. They have an unexpected meeting in a bathroom and she inspires him to give a certain type of speech because he's lost the election, and then that's it. Now, things are supposed to transpire, so he gets coffee spilt on him, and he then's like, oh my God, I've got to go change my shirt, and therefore he misses a bus that Elise is on. But the coffee plan doesn't work. See, this is the Adjustment Bureau. They make little adjustments. They could see if he didn't spill coffee, he would get on the bus and he would meet her, and he is not supposed to meet her ever again. But the coffee plan didn't work, so he meets her. Now this causes troubles because now he's kind of infatuated with her. And this is going to cause problems because he's infatuated, he's got her phone number, he's going to ring her up, they're going to get together, blah, blah, blah. And the plans that they have for her and the plans they have for him are all going to go haywire if those two get together like that. So the whole movie is based on the Adjustment Bureau, trying to manipulate him and circumstances to keep him away from her. So it's a fantastic little movie. Guys in hats can open doors, and when they open a door, they end up in another world, and it's the hat that enables them to do that. And when I say another world, I mean like they could be halfway across the city So it could be a closet door they open, but when they walk through, it's still a closet to everyone else, but they've just gone through to the other side of the city or something like that. Magic doors. Turn the door handle one way, it transports you through a different part of the city. Turn the door handle the other way, and you end up in their secret little world. So the whole movie is based on Matt Damon doesn't want to go with their plan. And they've tried to discourage him from being with Elise multiple times. They've even warned him about what will happen if he does get with her, but he still wants to be with her. And they even threatened him, if you reveal who we are or that we exist, we will basically wipe your memory and everyone else will just think you're a lunatic. Okay, so having said all of that, it's like a running away or like a chase movie. You're trying to outsmart the people who can think one step ahead of you all the time because they can understand your choices, and they have little books. They have these books, like little journals that they're looking into all the time, and they're reading them, and they're like, oh my goodness, look at that. We can see what he's doing. So he makes a decision. They know where he's going. He does something else. The little map in the book lights up and follows the path, and they can see everything that he is doing and where he wants to go. Then they can just go through a portal door and pop out in front of him to try and stop him, that kind of a thing. Now, like all good movies, you are presented with a little piece of information early on that seems to be no bearing, but will have bearing later on, and that is when the person is surrounded by water or there's a lot of water around, such as in rain, it makes it very hard for anyone to follow him or see what decisions he is making. So that's a little bit of a spoiler, sort of a rundown on the movie. I'm not going to tell you how it ends, but that's the whole premise of the movie. And it's not like life and death, although it kind of is. They're chasing him, so you know there are stakes involved because he will be lobotomized, let's just say, if he does certain things, and they don't like that. They need to keep themselves a secret. And he's just going to have a massive amount of pushback. Now, you have to establish very early on that Matt and Elise, the character, have this very unusual attraction to each other. So was that done well enough? You know what? It kind of was done well in the interaction in the men's bathroom. I didn't know, it sounds very strange, but if you see it, you'll understand. It just lost a little bit of its thing when they started to kiss, and the kiss just went on a beat too long before they were interrupted. Now, that's what I felt. But other than that, I felt that everything else was portrayed pretty decently. And it's not the first time I've seen the movie. Like I said, this thing happened to me and it reminded me of the movie. So I went and watched the movie again to enjoy it again, enjoy the movie. Now, if you can watch this movie for free, I say go watch it. It's certainly not at a cinema anymore, and I don't know if it would be. I wouldn't pay full price as a DVD or Blu-ray for it. It's not that type of movie, but if you've got a spare hour and 45 minutes, and it doesn't even feel like it goes that long, it's just an interesting little movie. And if you like something that can make you sort of have a little bit of a think, and that is, what if this was the case? What if anyone I saw in a hat actually had this ability to pop in and out? What if anyone I saw that had a journal, that carried a journal around, what if they were one of these guys? What if this sort of thing was happening? Because some things are just chance. Like they were going to manipulate his path in life, but when he bumps into her, well, the second time or whatever, that was just pure chance. So some things are chance and, they can't help that. But other things are like part of the plan. And there's such subtle little things like getting stuck at a red traffic light, a traffic jam, a cup falling. If a glass falls in your kitchen and breaks, you drop everything to spend 3 to 5 minutes cleaning it up. While you're cleaning that up for 3 to 5 minutes, what aren't you seeing on YouTube or Twitter or the news or whatever? What did you miss because you spent 5 minutes cleaning the glass up? It's an intriguing little thought. Anyway, if you've seen the movie, let me know what you think down below. And if you haven't seen the movie, I say give it the old one too. I think you might enjoy it.